today. We'll continue with aggregate demand. In the previous class, we talked about aggregate demand curve. Today, we want to talk about shifts in aggregate demand curve. So, when there's a shift in aggregate demand curve, it would have been that other variables have changed except price. So, look at what I wrote here. Shift in aggregate curve will occur if there's a change in any other relevant variables aside price level. So, that means other factors, maybe income, has changed. So, here, a shift in AD curve from AD1 to AD2 show that the price level of P1, the root output increases from Y1 to Y2. So when we talk about increase in Y1 to Y2, that means we're talking about the income level. The income level. So an increase in the income level will definitely shift the aggregate demand curve rightward, because it means in that economy, the income level has increased and they have more to spend within that economy. So demand spending will increase. So an increase in the income level will affect all the components of aggregate demand, such as, now we'll start with consumption. Remember, in our aggregate demand, we talked about different components like consumption, spending, investment, government spending, and net export, which is the difference between export and import. So we start with consumption. For consumption, different factors might increase consumption. A fall in unemployment, making consumers less afraid to lose their jobs. As a result, they may be willing to borrow more money to spend on consumer durables. The interest rate might also fall, making borrowings increase, shifting the AD curve rightward. So, what will make consumption to increase within the economy, which means what will make the aggregate demand curve to shift rightward? If consumption increases, it means spendings of consumers have increased. And one of the reasons why spending might increase is a fall in unemployment rate or an increase in the employment rate. An increase in the employment rate or a fall in unemployment rate will mean that income level would rise within the economy. And if income level rise, it means consumers also have that confidence to borrow money because they are not going to lose their jobs. So the level of confidence they have that they're not going to lose their job based on the fact that unemployment has fallen within the economy might allow them to borrow more money. And if they are able to borrow more, they will be able to spend more, increasing spending, increasing consumption within the economy, shifting the aggregate demand curve rightward. And a fall in interest rate also makes the cost of borrowing to fall. So if the cost of borrowing falls, it means consumers will be willing to borrow more money from the bank. As a result, they will be able to spend more, shifting the aggregate demand curve rightward from AD1 to AD2. So we're talking about a shift in aggregate demand curve from AD1 to AD2. So we're talking about consumption. An increase in consumption will increase the aggregate demand, shifting it rightward from AD1 to AD2, which means the level of income within that economy has increased from Y1 to Y2. That is for consumption. Then we go to investment. Investment represents capital spending for firms. So an increase in confidence level of business due to economic rapid growth, a fall in interest rate, a fall in taxes will increase the profitability of firms. This will encourage investment projects. So what are the reasons why the aggregate demand curve will shift rightward on investment? As soon as the confidence level of businesses increases based on a rapid growth, it means people have more money to spend, so their revenue would increase. As a result of that, they might want to increase their investment. Aside that, a fall in interest rate represents the price of borrowing reduces. And if the price for borrowing reduces, it means firms will be willing to borrow more. As a result, they will be able to borrow more to invest because it will bring profitability. And the fall in taxes will increase profitability. So if there's a fall in taxes, then firms will be motivated to invest more, expanding their operations or expanding their production scale. It will also increase the aggregate demand curve to shift rightward from AD1 to AD2, because that will also increase the income level. The third one, government spending. For government spending, a rise in government spending without changes in taxation. A rise in government spending without changes in taxation means government has increased their spending. But if government increases spending without relating it to increasing taxes, it means either government surplus budget will reduce or its budget deficit will increase. Two things here. An increase in government spending without increase in taxation will reduce budget surplus or increase budget deficit. So if these two things happen, it will increase the aggregate demand curve, shifting it rightward from AD1 to AD2. Because increase in government spending meant that government could be subsidy, making the price of goods and services to fall, increasing consumer spending within the economy, increasing investment within the economy. So the aggregate demand curve will shift rightward from AD1 to AD2. But the problem about increasing government spending would mean that government budget surplus would have fallen, or there's an increase in government deficit. That's about government spending. And so the AD curve will shift rightward from AD1 to AD2. That's an increase in government spending without increase in government taxation. On the other hand, if there's a fall in government spending without change in taxation, the aggregate demand curve will shift leftward from AD2 to AD1, because the income level would have fallen from Y2 to Y1. Price level remains constant. And the last one is about the net exports and imports. A rise in exchange rate. So for export, we're talking about selling to foreign customers and buying from foreign businesses. So a rise in exchange rate will reduce export and increase imports. So that means net export minus imports will fall, shifting the aggregate demand curve leftward. So the point about export is this: if aggregate demand, if we want to have aggregate demand and increase in aggregate demand curve within the economy, it means our exports must be more than our imports, and that means we are internationally competitive. That would only happen if our exchange rate falls. While an increase in exchange rate will increase the price of exportation, meaning we will not be internationally competitive. So imports will be more than exports. So on imports, the aggregate demand for importation will increase and shift it rightward from AD1 to AD2, because the prices of what we have, our own money will be our currency, our local currency, will be able to buy more of foreign currencies. That will increase our imports, but our exports will be less, because the price of exports will have increased within the economy. So these are the reasons why we have shift in aggregate demand curve. One, at the level of income, as the level of income increases, the level of consumption will increase. Two, an increase in interest rate or a fall in interest rate will reduce the price for borrowing, making demand in the economy to also increase, shifting the aggregate demand curve right from AD1 to AD2. Also, taxation, a fall in interest rate will encourage firms to invest more on capital goods, making the aggregate demand curve within the economy to shift rightward from AD1 to AD2. And for government spending, an increase in government spending would mean that the budget surplus would reduce or the budget deficit will increase. Either ways, without taxes changing, the aggregate demand curve will shift rightward from AD1 to AD2, because government spending will represent an increase in income from Y1 to Y2 for consumers and for firms. And last one, for exports and imports, an increase in the exchange rate, which represents the value for international transaction. If the exchange rate increases or rises in the economy, the prices of our export becomes high. So we will not be internationally competitive, but the prices of imports becomes lesser and cheaper for us. So our aggregate demand curve will shift rightward for importation. Thank you.